It's the 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Kia.
Welcome, everybody. This is 2K Sports with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Ernie Johnson. Tonight, we'll see the Boston Celtics playing against the Philadelphia 76ers at Wells Fargo Center. For Philadelphia, they are hungry for a win here. Last season, they got swept by this team. 4 straight losses, something they haven't forgotten. And, Shaq, we're coming up to the halfway point of the season. Some teams finally getting into a groove after a somewhat shaky start.
Yeah, every year is different. Sometimes it takes a little longer to figure out. But what's most important is you get hot at the right time.
Oh, that's right. I agree with that. And you have to have a lot of experience on your team. And those guys know how to pace themselves. And you can just kind of relax. Quality veterans won't allow the season to be a sprint. It's a marathon.
Tip-off coming up shortly. It's time to send it to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Welcome to 2K Sports live Saturday night coverage of the NBA. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by the talented analyst tandem of Greg Anthony and Chris Webber. David Aldridge is on our sideline. Looking at Boston, they took a win in their last game against Sacramento. And kind of a close game, only a 4-point win, but a win nonetheless.
And that was not an easy game for them. I mean, they barely hung on at the end of regulation before they were able to pull it out in overtime.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough battle all night. I thought their great conditioning was the difference in the outcome.
And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sidelines. And we've got David Aldridge there for that. David, good evening.
Well, Brett Brown last season received an extension on his contract as head coach of the 76ers. It's been an uphill battle through the first 3 seasons of his tenure in Philly, but Brown has faith. He said, "We have started something extremely difficult, but it's going to end up extremely special. I see great things. I see daylight." Kevin?
Thanks, David. He's paid his dues. He deserves to see it through. And these teams have both been struggling of late, Chris, looking for any win they can get.
And you know they're both looking at this game as a potential must-needed win. I mean, when you're scuffling, you want any win you can get and to try to build some positive momentum.
Very good point. So Philadelphia will get the first possession. And now the opening lineup for Boston. We've got Johnson. Jake Crowder out there with Horford. Then it's Isaiah Thomas. And it's Brown in at the shooting guard position. Philadelphia shooting their first free throw attempt on the night. And that one misses.
And the one thing I like with the Celtics, you see the chemistry and the continuity, not just on the court, but on every level. Coaching, front office, ownership, they're all on the same page.
Now, here's Thomas. Johnson the screen. Clock at 6. Horford dishes to Crowder. Thomas kicks to Brown. Offline with his 3. On defense, Boston. And for the Celtics as an organization, when you have that trust and that common understanding, Chris, that makes a huge difference.
Well, you have to give the leadership some credit because part of being a great organization is hiring great people and letting them do their job. Ownership and management are involved, but not overbearing. And forward-thinking, this is a franchise that is exploring every avenue to find an edge.
Here's Brown after the made shot from Joel Embiid. Thomas, no good. And now Philadelphia on the break. For 3, Covington. That's no good. Misses his first shot of the night. Here's the Celtics with the ball. 4-point game. And this is the first season matchup for them against this 76ers team.
Yeah, and they came out with a W every time they played this squad last year. A stark contrast drawn between the conference's haves and have-nots.
That one falls.
Great movement on the play. Creates the size mismatch down low.
Boston off to a slow start. And Thomas, here we go. Count that one.
One of the most elusive ball handlers in the league. Thomas lives in the lane.
Philadelphia's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. McConnell kicks to Embiid. Ring shot on the way. And Horford pulls it down.
You were shocked when he misses open shots like that. The D should be thanking their lucky stars right now.
Johnson, the pass to Horford. Nice ball movement by Boston. Thick by Horford. Here's Thomas. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Just think, Isaiah Thomas, acquired by the Celtics in a deadline deal back in 2015. And for a team in desperate need of more scoring punch, he's been the perfect fit.
And the Celtics acquiring Thomas, future All-Star on a budget contract, in exchange for a late first-round pick. I think, Chris, it worked out for him.
I think so, too. He's a dynamic scorer. He's the straw that stirs the drink for them at the offensive end. The Celtics believed in his talent, and they're reaping the rewards.
And so he hits both.
And yet, just another thing he does well. He just has a certain feel for this game.
McConnell kicks to Henderson. Embiid, the pass to McConnell. Okafor against Crowder. Off the screen. Bucket is good.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Nice off-the-ball movement and action to free him up for a shot he makes on a regular basis. Outstanding work.
Now, here's Thomas. He's definitely a factor in their offense, averaging 12 points a game. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jahlil Okafor. That is his first foul of the game.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
We're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. Outside Thomas. He feeds it to Johnson. 5 to shoot. The shot, no good. And Philadelphia the other way now. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
I mean, you can say it. The defense was awful. They took away nothing and got scored on relentless. Wow, what a smart play. He recognized the height advantage and went straight to the rack.
76ers have gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Okafor with a screen on Crowder. Offensive rebound. And it's Okafor missing.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there. Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
Henderson dishes to Embiid, and here's Covington from the arc. And Boston with the rebound. Outside Thomas to the inside. And the rejection by Embiid. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Amir Johnson. That'll be his second foul of the game. Kelly Olynyk's checked in for Amir Johnson. The 76ers leading. Here's McConnell. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Here's Covington, defended by Crowder. A 3-ball. Rebound by Olynyk.
Cold start to this game for him. A lot of his shots have been off.
Crowder kicks to Horford. No good. That would have tied it.
Superb basketball IQ to change his shot with the defense all over him. But too bad he missed it.
Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Well, of course it did. The D was nowhere to be found, and because of that, he easily sprinted down the court and got an easy bucket on that.
Screen by Olynyk. Thomas passes to Horford. To the paint. Here's Crowder. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
Oh, at 6'7", Crowder's pretty effective inside. I mean, he has a way of finishing over Leonard.
Here's McConnell. He had 10 points in the win against Orlando.
Oh, and he also was a badger on the defensive end, finishing with 3 steals on the night.
Horford with the rebound. Boston trailing. Crowder dishes to Olynyk. And the dunk by Olynyk.
Man, that's just tremendous court vision and timing. That assist was right on the money.
Here's McConnell. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Kicks to Okafor. Inside. Here's Embiid. And some big names have called it a career in the last few years. We just saw Kobe retire this past season. Chris, when did you know that it was time for you to make that transition away from the game and officially retire?
I knew a couple of years before I actually admitted it. You know, I battled injuries basically my whole career, from dislocated shoulders to ankle injuries to, of course, everyone knows about the knees. And so for me, I was just trying to play every single moment I could and as many games as I could. So, you know, it's don't really know when I realized it, but it didn't matter, because whenever you realize it, you don't want to let it go.
Yeah. Good on the second free throw. Chris, who do you feel are guys that can just own a game, you know, take it over at any time and get it going?
Well, I think you have to look at Curry. You know he can do that at any time. Klay Thompson, I mean, he set a record for points in a quarter, but I also think you have to look Damian Lillard and how he can get you buckets and get you going in so many ways. So many guys that can be explosive and take a game over for you.
Good analysis. And the 76ers setting an all-time record for patience as far as going young, Greg, and building through the draft. There's been a lot of losing along the way.
Yeah, and a lot of questions to their strategy. I mean, but the front office said their philosophy was trying to plant an orchard from seeds. They didn't want to buy apples, I guess. They wanted to grow them from the ground up. Boy, they better get that harvest moving fast.
Thomas kicks to Horford. And the dunk by Horford.
So great in that pick and roll. Thomas, a real threat, and he's a threat that delivers the assist.
Down low, Embiid. And Embiid throws it down.
An incredible reverse throwdown. Excellent body control.
And guys, I'd even go as far to say that was a punctuation dunk. And it's Brown missing.
He's usually very dependable from that range, but the D got themselves in that play and got him off kilter.
Here's McConnell. He's guarded by Thomas. McConnell passes to Embiid. Back to McConnell. It's Henderson on the wing. Clock at 4. Here's Embiid. Embiid out of bounds. Boston takes possession. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east. Already we are in December. You look at Boston. They're still struggling, trying to string something together, getting a lot of wins. The competition, though, so tough. And checking out Philadelphia, a game and a half out.
And I think for the 76ers, they haven't made any of the strides they were hoping to see prior to the season. Again, hanging around at the bottom of the standings.
This is just not a team that is positioned to be very good at all. Now, look, the players are doing their best out there, but they simply just don't have the right mix of players nor the execution to get it done yet.
Chalk up 2 there.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
There's a screen. Bayless dishes to Anderson. Now here's Bayless, guarded by Smart. Embiid the screen. Second chance shot. That's tipped.
Oh, and he's the rare player with the shorter arm span than his height. I mean, Bill Lennox is still going to get his share of blocks.
In the corner, Smart with it. And it's Jerebko, top of the key. No good on his first attempt of the game. 76ers trailing. Rodriguez left side. Tries again. And that's 2 points on the layup. And it's 13 points for Joel Embiid.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Outside Thomas. Feeds it to Crowder. A fader. That's it. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
And you can see just how much effort Crowder has put into improving the mid-range game.
Rodriguez with it. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. To the wing right side. Here's Embiid. Looks good, is good. That's his 7th basket in 12 tries.
Oh, he has owned this quarter. Everything he is throwing up is falling right now.
To the left side wing. Urebko kicks to Olynyk. The pass to Urebko, and he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
Both teams trading punches back and forth. This thing's like a heavyweight fight.
And a good indication of that, this will be an absolute battle for the entirety of this game.
8 lead changes now, and we're still just in the first half.
And I'm not sure I've seen a game with more lead changes this early.
There's a good screen. Over to the wing. Here's Thomas, and it's good. Walk through contact, it's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
Big things come in small packages, Kevin. I mean, Thomas just contorting to finish through the foul.
And the 76ers making a change here. Splitters checked in. Gerald Green, he's checked in for the Celtics. Celtics have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both.
And they've been ordinary on the season as well, just about 75% from the line.
Free throw good, Thomas. Chris, so often we'll see one play in a game that seems to change the mentality, the momentum, the feel on the floor. As a player, do you feel it when one play, just one play, can alter the mood of a game, change the pace of a game?
Well, yeah, Kevin, you can definitely feel it. I mean, a lot of times, you know, you're trying to invoke it, implore it. You're trying to speak it into existence.
Yes.
So, you know, if you see someone that gets a big steal when you need one and you guys have been, you know, plotting for it on the sideline in the huddle, or if you see a guy hit a big 3 that ties up the game and, you know, it's a 17-4 run and it makes everyone believe, and then the roar of the crowd and how that goes, you know, momentum is definitely tangible. You know, when you see someone get dunked on and one poster, take the lead up by 1, crowd goes crazy. You know, I believe, you know, it actually affects you physically.
Yes.
You know, your heartbeat, your pulse, you know, your endorphins, your adrenaline, everything gets going. So, yeah, you definitely can feel when the play alters the mood of the game.
Great way to put it. Young's checked in for the Celtics. Both free throws good from Bayless.
And the Sixers, you know, patiently building with young talent. And through all the losing, Coach Brett Brown talked about seeing the daylight. And I think we're starting to see it as well. The roster's starting to take shape, and maybe that optimism is just around the corner for the Sixers.
And the Sixers have drafted for talent rather than for need. A lot of front court players. You wonder, Greg, how it would all fit in.
And I think especially for a young team with so many needs, you're best served going with the best player available. They've evaluated how the pieces fit, and now they can make the moves necessary to complete that puzzle.
That's good from Green. Both free throws good from Green.
And how about the Celtics? Over the last 3 seasons, climbing up from a subpar defensive team to elite status. You look around the league, there may not be a better perimeter defensive trio than Marcus Smart, Avery Bradley, and Jay Crowder.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
Urebko, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That one on Saric. And as good as the Celtics have been defensively, Chris, Coach Brad Stevens thinks they can get even better.
Well, yeah, at times they've been a bunch of hacks. They still foul too often and struggled on the defensive glass. I think they've needed more shot blocking inside. If they can address those issues, this defense could be scary.
First one falls for him. He hits one and misses one, each at the line.
Now, in 2013, the Celtics began their rebuild in earnest. Right away, they made some great moves hiring Brad Stevens from the college ranks to take over as head coach. And also, a terrific trade with Brooklyn, getting 3 first-round picks and the right to swap picks in exchange for Garnett and Paul Pierce.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And you talk about that trade with the Nets. Looking back, what a trade for the Celtics.
Wow, I forgot about that. Yeah, Brooklyn's run with Pierce and KG was short-lived, and as their fortunes have waned, it's been one heck of a windfall for these guys in green. So many young assets. You knew they had to make some moves just to fit their roster limitations.
First free throw is good. And so Sarge nails them both.
And what a tremendous advantage. Bigs who can shoot from the line.
Screen by Olynyk. Now Smart. Playing Sacramento, he was nearly unstoppable. Here's Jerebko.
2 shots, gentlemen. 2.
He's made 1 and missed 1 so far in the game. And the first one at the line is good. Jerebko hits them both.
Yeah, a lot of whistles here early, as well as foul trouble starting to be an issue.
There's the dish to Splitter. Anderson kicks to Splitter. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Splitter's got his second bucket.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Now here's Green. A 14-point game for him in the win against Sacramento. And here's Smart. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. 76ers lead by 1. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter. Up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And looking at what we've seen from the 76ers, what do you guys think?
It's been about the effort. Love the hustle they've shown here in the first.
Yeah, working hard, really masking some of their weaknesses by piling up second chance points.
So it's Boston now. They trail by 1. They can look forward to the Rockets Arena after this matchup to take on Houston. That matchup falls in the middle game of this 3-game trip. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the court for the Celtics. Green is out there with Horford. And it's Young. Then it's Johnson. And it's Smart in at the 1.
Stays with it. And Johnson able to finish the play. That's just outstanding.
T.J. McConnell, he's checked in for the 76ers. And Chris, at the midway point of the season, are teams worried about peaking too early? Is that a real concern for teams?
Yeah, you know what? I've never understood the phrase peaking too early. I never understood what that meant. You know, you're supposed to try to win every game you can. There's no such thing as perfection, so you'll never peak.
Great way to put it. Okafor, the pass to Covington. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Covington's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And for the Celtics, they're shooting in this game 45%. Now here's Smart. Defense is right there. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And Marcus Smart, a combo guard. He hasn't really established himself yet as a big-time scorer or a playmaker. But you know what, Chris? You ask his coaches, and he finds a way to impact the game.
Yeah, he sure does. He's a rugged defender. He's also one of the best rebounding guards in this league, especially on the offensive glass.
And the first one at the line is good.
At 6'4", 220 pounds, Marcus Smart might be the most physically imposing point guard in the league, especially with his fiery approach to the game.
And so, Smart nails both of them.
But we see Marcus Smart is still developing as an offensive player at the NBA level. But he gets onto the court with his intimidating defensive presence.
Okafor dishes to Covington. Comes up empty off the pick.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Oh, trust me, he's kicking himself for that misfire. He knows he should have hit it after that tremendous pick gave him the necessary space to do so.
And Smart at 6'4", 220, and sometimes a hot temper, Chris. He makes you feel him when he's covering.
Well, that's his size and strength. But he's also quick. He fights through screens as well as any player in this league. He plays the game with tremendous effort.
Boston leading by 3. And here in the second with about a minute and a half gone by. Outside, Green. And Gerald Green picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Not a problem. First turnover of the game, but overall, I like how they're taking care of the basketball.
Boston making a switch here. Brown's checked in. Philadelphia shooting 40% from the field. McConnell kicks to Splitter. Pass to Henderson. And the jam by Gerald Henderson.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run for him there.
Well, yeah, and you have to give him credit, too. Makes the right read, go straight to the rim.
Here's Horford. 76ers getting the bucket. Smart passes to Horford. And finished off by Horford.
Oh, nice look there from Smart, finding an open man.
And Philadelphia has possession. It's a 3-point game. Here's McConnell. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Young against Henderson. 6 to shoot. Back to Okafor. Shoots a 3. Splitter kicks to McConnell. Fires the 3. Trains the three-pointer. McConnell's got it all tied up now for the 76ers. The Celtics have gone a nice 3 of 3 to start the second. Smart dishes to Horford. Screen by Young. Horford kicks to Brown. Henderson against Young. Here's Okafor. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And he's got his first free throw of the game.
And, you know, something I remember from their last game was how good he was at the line. And Jahlil Okafor, really a throwback in a lot of ways, you know, when you think about some of the low post giants that our game has seen. I mean, 6'11", over 270 pounds, tremendous hands and footwork, and he can take defenders to school on that low block. Going to continue to have to improve his passing, particularly out of double teams, and ability to face up a little more. But again, this is a guy with a tremendous amount of ability moving forward.
And they say post play is a bit of a lost art. It's hard to do effectively against modern NBA defenses. Do you think Okafor will be successful, Greg, playing that kind of style?
You know, he'll have to develop his passing to punish teams who bring help. They have to surround him with shooters, though. If not, then there's no penalty for swarming him inside.
And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And where have the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for the 76ers.
And one thing they can definitely improve on is their work from three-point range, especially from the corners. That's an area of the floor that has been a black hole for them this season. If they can start to get some points from the corners, it'll really open things up for them.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good.
Well, one thing about Coach Brad Stevens, he's very composed on the sideline. He said it was a lesson he learned at Butler. If he gets rattled, the team does. So whether the game is going well or going poorly, you can't tell from looking at him. He keeps an even keel.
Jay Crowder's checked in for Boston. He doesn't get the second one. And Stevens keeps that steady demeanor. But that doesn't mean, Chris, he won't get into players if he thinks they're not playing the right way.
But even there, keeping that poker face helps. Players don't want to be embarrassed in front of thousands. As a coach, if you pull a player aside or keep it in the huddle, that's appreciated. You'll see him talking to a player, and he looks cool and calm. But if you're a lip reader, it might be a different story.
And Jay Crowder at 6'6", 6'7", not the tallest guy at the forward spot, but he is solid.
So true. Everybody needs a perimeter player who can deal with those strength matchups. Crowder is physical. He doesn't back down from anybody. He's a difference maker on that defensive end.
And both free throws good from Crowder.
And you talk about a culture builder. Jay Crowder is a guy who is not content with losing ball games. He's a competitor, and that rubs off on his team.
And then Henderson with the dunk.
Fundamentals, guys, using the one-hand slam.
Well, he makes the basics look pretty exceptional. To the middle, got a piece of it. Okafor with the steal. Here's McConnell. He dishes it to Okafor. In the corner, Henderson with it. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Okafor. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, guys, it's always a transition and a difficult one for college coaches to come to the pros, but Celtics coach Brad Stevens made one of the smoothest we've seen after leading Butler to back-to-back national championship games. You hear that buzz from players to opposing coaches. Greg Popovich said, "I really respect what he does. His team executes. I'll still watch his Butler tape. Trying to learn some stuff, to be honest with you. High praise indeed, fellas."
And Popovich, really the godfather of the active coaches right now, D.A. His voice carries certainly a lot of weight in this league. Thank you. And he can't get the first one.
Wow, and James Young, the lefty out of Kentucky, a capable scorer with a 7-foot wingspan, trying to put it all together.
So neither attempt will fall that time for him. The 76ers have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. Henderson kicks to McConnell. To the paint. He's looking for Embiid and finds him. Count it, good.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
The screen from Brown. Off the pick, Horford. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
And it had been something that had been talked about in the past via trade, but Al Horford joined Boston in the offseason via free agency. It was the fit that he wanted team-wise, and Horford was ready for a new challenge. So great fit with this roster and the city of Boston.
And he makes the first. And Al Horford got a max deal to come to the Boston Celtics, GA. He's on the wrong side of 30, but when you look at his game, his all-star resume, you don't see a real sharp decline coming.
Great point, Kevin, and that's why the Celtics were willing to give Horford the contract they gave him. It was one of the bigger free agent names on the market. You knew that the Celtics would want to make a splash in free agency, and he was their guy. And for me, one of the more unsung players in the league, Al Horford, a two-time national champion at the University of Florida, one of the most skilled and versatile big men in our league, and he hasn't gotten the attention I believe he deserves.
And it's blocked by Brown. They recover it. The Celtics with the lead. Young outside. Pass to Horford. Elbow shot. Boston again missing. And with Horford's free agency looming this last summer, last season was a tricky spot for the Atlanta Hawks. Would they be able to keep him?
Yeah, and you go back to the lack of exposure he's gotten. I mean, from the Dominican Republic, he's a Spanish-speaking star. I mean, his marketing and endorsement potential in bigger markets, something he is well aware of.
2 shots.
First one falls for him. And Embiid drops them both. Thomas with the ball. He has 7. Inside, Horford. And a dunk by Horford.
Oh, man, Horford, I mean, getting loose out there, having a game for himself offensively.
Philadelphia has gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. Henderson passes to Okafor. Pass to McConnell. Embiid the screen. A shot by McConnell, no good. The Celtics have gone 5 of 6 so far from the field in the second quarter. Here's Young. Oh, and the dunk by Young.
That pass into the paint, that is a work of art there, dead on target.
And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here.
Now, when you think about Isaiah Thomas, an expert penetrator, the lefty, he uses that change of speed, fakes, and hesitations. In fact, he probably has the most devastating hesitation move in the league. He keeps the ball on a string and the defenders on skates.
Anderson, he's checked in for Philadelphia. Bayless comes in for Gerald Henderson. And a change for the Celtics. Jerebko's checked in for Young. And it's the 76ers with the ball. They trail by 3. And Chris, do you think the new rules prohibiting hand checking have opened up the game for players like Isaiah Thomas?
I do. It's another reason to like the rule change. The big, the tall guys, they have enough advantages in basketball. It's great to see the elusive, the shifty players like Thomas use their speed and quickness to their advantage.
Here's the 3. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Thomas got the lead up to 3 now for Boston.
Wow, and like all great scorers, Thomas never fazed by a little defensive pressure.
McConnell kicks to Okafor. Now Embiid. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against Orlando.
And how about the way he really challenged shooters in that game, rejecting 3 shots and possibly changing numerous others.
Now here's Crowder. Jahlil Okafor unable to get his last shot to go. Now here's Anderson. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. And the call will be against Justin Anderson. That's foul number 2 for him. And the 76ers with some changes. Sarge has checked in for Okafor, and Rodriguez is subbed in for T.J. McConnell. It's blocked. Here's Bayless. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Strong fundamentals right there. He didn't consider the height disadvantage too long. Instead, he just went right at him and sunk it in his grill, in the face.
This will be his 3rd free throw shot of the game. That's good from Bayless. Celtics have gone 7 for 10 here in the second quarter. They'd like to keep up that nice pace. Thomas dishes to Horford. Back to Thomas. Thomas with another miss. Philadelphia has gotten half their shots from three-point range to go down in the second quarter. 3 of 6 from downtown. Embiid kicks to Rodriguez. And he misses the go-ahead basket. Boston's gotten both of their three-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter. Dishes to Brown. Horford in the post. Embiid's there. 6 to shoot. Again, the miss by the Celtics. The 76ers shooting 47% from the floor since the end of the first quarter. Saric misses. The Celtics shooting at 48% from the floor. Looking good. Brown kicks to Horford. Embiid with the steal. He shot 3 of 5 from the line.
Just hasn't found his form at the line here in the first half.
10 shots. And that drops, so they now lead by 1. So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe. Second shot opportunity. Al Horford with the rebound. Horford's got his 5th rebound in this one. To the paint. It's tipped. Embiid with the steal. And out of bounds as the Celtics gain possession. And now let's have a look at the teams that have had the quickest hands in the NBA during the past month. The 76ers, number 1.
What a month they've had defensively. I mean, they've really gotten after it on that end of the floor.
Brown outside. Outside Thomas. The shot's good. Brown making the play. And that's 12 points for Isaiah Thomas.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Saric passes to Bayless. And here's Embiid. He's got 20.
You can bet if he's left open from there again, he's probably going to knock that one down.
Thomas kicks to Brown. Horford high post. The kick out to Brown, and there's the 3-second violation. And a look here at the shot chart.
Well, just look at the cluster in the middle of the paint. That right there tells you all you need to know about how they have built the lead they have. They are playing with more intensity on the offensive side of the ball, and it's the difference in the game right now. You have to love how they've approached this matchup.
76ers trailing. Here's Rodriguez. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Brown outside.
And in a draft class full of great wing players, it is easy to sleep on Jaylen Brown, but he can become a great player. Has everything you want from a wing in terms of skill set and that physicality. He could have a ceiling just as high as anybody else in this draft.
And when you talk about a player having an NBA-ready body, you want them to have the strength to compete with vets right off the bat. And make no mistake about it, Jaylen Brown has an NBA-ready body.
I'm just not sure the NBA is ready for him. I mean, he is a physical monster. Takes contact like defenders are insects and can still finish strong through the foul. Has a combo of speed, strength, length, and endurance that you rarely see from a player his age.
Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Olenek is checked in for Horford. Green comes in for Jay Crowder, and Smart subbed in for Thomas.
And the vertical that Brown has is pretty impressive, as relentless a finisher as you'll find in our league.
He simply should not be shooting from out there. That's just not him. That's not his game.
And it's Green with the jam.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think. The 76ers trail by 3. Rodriguez with it. And Embiid the screen. There's the feed to Saric. Clock at 6. And Anderson kicks to Rodriguez. Here's Saric. Here's Embiid. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And looking now at some numbers for Green. His last 10 games, averaging 13 points per game, 2 assists and 2 rebounds. And you look at those numbers, not bad. But, guys, I think he can do better, and he knows it.
Shooting 2.
The first one falls. And Embiid drops them both. We've got 1:48 left to play here in the half. Now Smart. He has 6. On the wing, Green. Bayless covering. Shot clock at 5. Here's Smart. He made that one. Basket number 3 for him. He's also missed 2.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash-mouth physical basketball, guys.
Now here's Bayless. He had 16 points in the win against Orlando. Here's Embiid. Another shot. And the 76ers get it back. Anderson dishes to Bayless. Here's Embiid. Back to Bayless. Embiid the screen. Now here's Rodriguez. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. A shot's good from Bayless.
He continues to build on his outstanding play during the first quarter.
2 for 1 opportunity here if they want it.
And no doubt, Kevin, if I'm them, I go for it.
They set the pick. On the wing, Green. Bayless covering. Count that one. Uredko's got 7.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
And Bayless kicks to Embiid. There's the pass to Rodriguez. That's tipped, and they get it back.
He doesn't look like himself right now. Nothing is going his way.
The Celtics with the lead.
Clock is clearly on their side.
Most definitely, and they should realize this and not look to shoot too early in the shot clock for the rest of the game.
Ooh, he put a little extra on that one.
He does. He doesn't usually finish soft either. Obviously, he can when necessary, but not that time. That shot off the mark. And the first half comes to a close. We've got a close game going on here. Celtics out in front, up 4. We'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Hope you've been enjoying the excitement so far. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. Al Horford putting in some incredible work tonight. He had 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist. Kenny, what's your take on Boston so far?
They obviously came in wanting to push the action. And so far, so good. They're looking to get easy transition baskets because the other team is not getting back on defense.
Shaq, what'd you think about Philadelphia?
Well, Ernie, this is definitely a big wake-up call for them. Their field goal percentage is sitting in the low 30s. They came out unfocused, unmotivated, unprepared. If they can't turn the tide and play with greater efficiency, it's going to be a long second half.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. Joel Embiid has been sensational.
He's just been terrific. This is what they needed from him.
Earning a double-double for the night is awesome, but doing it in one half, he is out hustling everybody.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. We've got Jahlil Okafor. He's out there with Joel Embiid. Henderson out there with Robert Covington. And it's McConnell in at the 1 spot. And that's the group for Brett Brown as we begin the second half.
And Horford, a pretty steady free throw shooter. I mean, he had a few down seasons, maybe due to those pectoral tears, but I tell you what, he's been right up there around 80%.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
He was extremely sharp at the free throw line in their last outing.
First free throw is good. Celtics making a switch here. Johnson's checked in. He's off on the second. The 76ers trail by 5. Henderson, no one around him. Bangs home the trifecta. Henderson's got his third bucket of the night. And the Celtics shooting certainly a key for them in this one. 55% from the field. Thomas kicks to Crowder. He feeds it to Horford. From 18 feet away. And it's rebounded by Covington. Covington's got rebound number 5 here tonight. McConnell passes to Okafor. Covington dishes to Embiid, and he makes that one. Embiid's got 24.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
Johnson kicks to Crowder. Nice ball movement by Boston. Johnson the screen. Over in the corner, Brown. And the layup falls. Brown's got his second basket.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, one thing you've heard over the years about Amir Johnson is that his box score stats may not wow you. They belie his impact on the court. Coach Brad Stevens said he just knows how to play both ends. He makes easy plays with the ball, and then on the defensive end, he makes everyone better. Indeed, a two-way impact player, Kevin.
He's a plus-minus standout, D.A. Thank you. Now, here's Brown. Isaiah Thomas unable to get his last shot to go.
Even though he's struggling with the shot, it hasn't stopped his team from getting in front and maintaining this lead.
Embiid. And it's sent back by Horford.
Wow, the rim protection by Horford. I mean, Al Horford standing 6'10", always played bigger.
For Philadelphia, they've gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. And out of bounds as the Celtics gain possession. Well, folks, tonight a great rebounding game we're watching in progress. And now, with that in mind, let's take a look at the all-time record for rebounds in a single game. How about Wilt Chamberlain with 55 rebounds back on November 24th, 1960.
And guys, that's one of those records that always seemed to me impossible to break. I mean, in the modern era, nobody's even sniffed that 55 rebound mark. I mean, heck, a lot of teams don't get 55 rebounds in a game, and Wilt's owned it since 1960.
So it's Philadelphia now after the basket by Boston. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Okafor. And here's a rundown of the rookies already having a huge impact in their first season. These are the NBA's rookie scoring leaders. Second, Jaylen Brown. In the third spot, Dario Saric.
Talk about hitting the ground running. These two have made an immediate impact with their scoring.
And here is Thomas. He's got 12. Thomas a screen. Horford dishes to Brown. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Brown's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Embiid the screen. McConnell kicks to Okafor. Here's Henderson. And the 76ers get it back.
And that's a good job of just getting after it on the backboard. Gets them another possession and allows them to run even more clock.
Now here's Thomas. He's definitely a factor in their offense, averaging 12 points a game. Johnson the screen. Fades away. Second chance shot. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot two.
And we're looking at the last ever prep to pros draftee. I mean, Amir Johnson taken 56 overall by Detroit in 2005. He's been in the league over a decade now.
Gentlemen, two shots. Loop shots.
That free throw, no good. And Amir Johnson, a darling of the analytics stats people. He ranked as a top 6 power forward last season in a stat called real plus minus, Chris.
Well, I got a stat call. I really don't care because I definitely don't necessarily believe in those analytics. You have to have a common denominator in each situation, and you just don't have that in analytics. But he just knows where to be, and he makes winning plays. The per-game numbers might not blow you away, but this is one of the guys that get the job done on both ends of the floor.
A shot by McConnell, no good. Celtics leading by 5. Crowder goes in, and they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Now, Jay Crowder, by some advanced metrics, ranked as a top 6 small forward in the league last season. He's a gritty, defensive-minded player. He makes a positive impact on both ends of the court.
And Crowder eager to prove himself after being acquired by the Celtics in the Rajon Rondo trade.
The Celtics got a steal of a contract through 2020. He's really helped establish that tough, high-effort culture in Boston.
A three-pointer is right on target. Covington's got 6.
Their three-point percentage has taken a big leap here in this second half.
Johnson the screen. Thomas passes to Johnson. Hammers the alley-oop through.
I mean, he can do that. With his leaping ability, no problem for Johnson to go get it.
The 76ers trail by 7. Here's McConnell. Henderson dishes to Splitter. Here's McConnell. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. McConnell's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Talk about leading your target perfectly. Nice assist.
Thomas with the ball. 12 points for him. He kicks to Johnson. And stolen by Splitter. Here's McConnell. That one's not going to go. Now Boston takes it the other way. Here's Young. Stolen by Henderson. Expanding his range. Out of bounds, Boston takes possession. And here's a look now at where the shots have been coming from.
Well, we know that this team can shoot a lot better from deep. But tonight it's just not there for them. They can keep firing and hope they can shoot their way out of this funk. But if they continue to shoot it like they have from beyond the arc thus far, they'll just be beating themselves.
Outside Thomas. Kicks to Horford. Thomas down low and right on through for another basket. He's got 5 made on 5 of 9 shooting. Now Henderson. He has 7. Passes it to McConnell. To the middle and stolen by Horford. Here's Crowder, the rim-rattling two-handed jam.
And showing he can play above the rim. Crowder with the highlight right there.
Here's McConnell. He has 5. Feeds to Splitter. Back to McConnell. And the layup is good. McConnell's got his third basket of the night right there.
And that's a well-placed pass right there, right where his teammate can do something with it.
Johnson the screen. That's good for Thomas on the assist from Young. Young's got 3 assists tonight.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
McConnell kicks to Okafor.
Yeah, look at me.
The dish to Splitter. Here's Henderson on the jam by Gerald Henderson.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Well, also a miscommunication on defense. No one rotates over. See ya.
And the 76ers will go for a different look here. Sarge is checked in for Okafor. Justin Anderson comes in for Robert Covington. Jared Bayless is checked in for Gerald Henderson. And Rodriguez is subbed in for T.J. McConnell. And then for Boston, Kelly Olynyk's checked in for Horford. Gerald Green comes in for Crowder. And Smart subbed in for Thomas. Now here's Olynyk. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. And Gerald Green picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. The 76ers trail by 7. Rodriguez outside. They set the pick. He dishes it to Bayless. And Sarge kicks to Bayless. To the inside. Here's Splitter. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And here's a look at the stats for Splitter. Some nice work from him over the last 10 games. He's averaging 10 points a game, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. And guys, he's making winning plays. It's as simple as that. Not a star player per se, but he makes his presence felt.
And the first one drops. And he makes both free throws. Boston leading by 5.
Who's watching here?
Now here's Smart. He's got 8. Jumper off the screen. Misses off the right iron.
It's not winning basketball when you're attempting shots like that.
Oh, no, you're right. It's selfish on his part to attempt that. Should have passed it back out and tried to get a better look.
Now here's Splitter. He has 7. They set the screen. Here's Rodriguez. Here's Saric. And finally they hit one. Saric has got 6.
Where's the box out? Some easy second chance opportunities there.
That's just a real lack of physicality in the post there. No reason at all that they should have gotten the rebound off that miss.
Splitter against Olynyk. Pass to Green. Back to Olynyk. 5 to shoot. Boston again missing. The 76ers trail by 3. And it's Bayless in the corner. Wide open, couldn't capitalize. For Boston, they've gone 8 of 16 in the third quarter to put their second half shooting percentage right at 50%. Young left side. And Olynyk kicks to Johnson. Celtics passing it around. And slam dunk by Smart.
I like Smart being aggressive right time, getting into the lane, using his power and speed to his advantage.
Smart's gone 67% from the field, 4 of 6. Splitter sets a screen. Here's Rodriguez. No good on the 3.
But he's just having one of those games that you just like to forget about as soon as it's done.
Outside, Green. And Olynyk kicks to Young. Lets it go. And it's Boston with another.
And you're not going to pass up that kind of ball.
The 76ers trail. Pass to Bayless. Dishes to Anderson. And it's Bayless in the corner. Lets it go from the wing. And the shot falls short this time. The Celtics shooting it beautifully here in the third. 56% from the field. Olynyk the pass to Young. The feed to Smart. Over in the corner, Green. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. The 76ers shooting at 36%. They really seem out of sync offensively. 11 feet away. Count it, and the Celtic lead has been cut to just 5 on the basket from Rodriguez.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Isn't that when you use your other skills like your mindset? That's just a high basketball IQ play right there. He knew he was no match inside. So what did he do? He pulled his defender out farther from the hoop.
The 76ers shooting the ball around 43% from the floor so far in the third quarter. Celtics leading by 5. Green dishes to Olynyk. Here's Smart. Again, the miss by the Celtics. Here's Philadelphia. And Sarge kicks to Rodriguez. Deep 2 from Bayless. Rebound Boston.
He just looks off in this one. Can't seem to throw it in the ocean.
Here's Olynyk. And the dunk by Olynyk.
He got with his trainer. He changed his diet, and he slimmed down. Olynyk. Now he's showing a little more explosiveness as a result.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
And they need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Here's Rodriguez. And the miss, not the best shot selection there. The Celtics shooting an outstanding 53% for the game. And the pass to Smart. Screen by Olynyk. Shoots from the corner. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Amir Johnson. That's it for him. He's fouled out of the game.
And he has to take that long, slow walk back to the bench here. He'll watch the rest of this one from the sideline.
And the 76ers making a change here. Embiid's checked in. Then for the Celtics, Jerebko comes in for Johnson. And it's Brown in for Young. Rodriguez outside. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play chance here. From deep. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Celtics lead by 4. Live from Philadelphia, you're watching 2K Sports. Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. The 76ers trail by 4. On the floor for Boston. Jerebko at the 4, Olynyk at the 5. Gerald Green out there with Isaiah Thomas. And it's Brown in at the 3, the small forward. Here's McConnell. He feeds it to Okafor. 6 on the shot clock. And he banks in the layup. Okafor's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the 76ers. Outside Thomas. Outside, Green. Inside. That'll be Boston as it goes out of bounds. Celtics retain possession.
Oh, nice play there to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
Oh, I love the anticipation on that play. Might have stolen it if he were there just about a half a step sooner.
Jay Crowder's checked in for Brown. Here's Thomas. They kick it out to Green. That's good. And it's Thomas picking up the assist. And the Celtics lead by 5.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Okafor with the ball. Working on Jerebko. Okafor, the pass to Covington. He kicks to Embiid. And yes, it's good. Embiid's got 31 points.
And how about the grit and determination in the post? I mean, essential qualities to have late in a close game.
Now, here's Thomas. Kicks it to Jerebko. In the corner, Crowder with it. And it doesn't even draw iron.
And that's a well-contested shot.
Solid defense. They weren't going anywhere against them there.
The shot's good. And that's now 7 points for Jahlil Okafor.
That's a brain freeze right there from the entire defense. Now is not the time to lose your focus.
Man, an utter defensive failure at a crucial part of the game. That's just not what you need.
Jerebko can't get it to go.
I wonder what the score would be if they weren't controlling the backboard.
Here's McConnell. Okafor kicks to Anderson. Passes it to Embiid. Again, Philadelphia.
This has been an amazing display, a true crowd-pleasing performance for him. I mean, and it's helped get this team the lead.
Thomas dishes to Green. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Stays with it and hits the off-balance shot. Here's Covington, and 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle on a lot of contact there. It's going to be on Jay Crowder.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
And undrafted out of Tennessee State, Robert Covington has become a nice find for the Sixers. You know, that saying, a 3-and-D small forward. I mean, they see him really as a foundational piece going forward, and I think he has more versatility. He's not just the 3-and-D guy. And this kid's continuing to improve and showing a lot of spunk in his game.
The Celtics making a switch here. Horford's checked in. And he ends up missing both free throws. And on the topic of Covington, you know he's mostly a spot-up shooter offensively. The majority of his shots, Greg, are coming from long range.
Yeah, a downtick in his shooting percentages last season. A cause for concern, I mean, but he's a good rebounder, gets a lot of steals. You like his size at that small forward position.
Good from Jerebko. Jerebko hits them both. The 76ers trail by 3. Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. McConnell kicks to Anderson. Feeds it to Embiid. Jay Crowder with the rebound.
The defender stayed on him without fouling and did great work there.
Here's Horford. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Embiid. Celtics leading by 3. Outside Crowder. Good, and the assist goes to Thomas. Thomas got his 7th assist here tonight.
You know, Kevin, he might not be the most athletic, but Crowder is strong. He showed it on that play.
And that one, good.
Oh, and look at how well he led him in there. Really, he passed him open for that deuce.
Now, here's Green. The dish to Horford. Knocks it loose. Okafor with the steal. Here's Covington. Defended by Crowder. Offensive rebound. Rejected by Crowder.
Big defensive play by Crowder, snuffing him out there.
Right side, Thomas. He dishes it to Urebko. Three-pointer. Thomas, no good.
He isn't getting it to fall from outside during this half after recording the 3 during the first. He's feeling it this half. Total turnaround after a rough first half.
The Celtics have gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. Thomas a screen. Here's the screen. Crowder kicks to Urebko. And Embiid with the block. Here's Henderson. Chance there to take the lead. Missing. Boston's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Thomas passes to Green. Back to Thomas. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
He embraces the contact, does Thomas. At his height, he uses his body like a shield. Just has such great leverage, creating space for the finish.
Here's McConnell. Pass to Henderson. Shoots off the screen. Can't get the putback. Boston leading by 3. And Thomas has it in the corner. That doesn't go either for Thomas.
He could not have been more wide open. I'm sure he's kicking himself for missing that one.
Picked by Okafor. McConnell kicks to Henderson. 76ers moving the ball around. A baseline J. Yep, that one goes in there. Here's Thomas. Horford high post. In the corner, Crowder with it. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Covington's got rebound number 8 now on the night. McConnell kicks to Okafor. To the paint. Here's Covington.
I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead. Brownie's checked in for Gerald Green. And that drops, so they now lead by 1. Celtics shooting a pedestrian 36% in the fourth quarter. The offense not doing their best work of late. Outside Thomas. Outside Crowder. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
And for a guy who shoots a lot of threes, Crowder does a pretty good job of getting himself to the free throw line.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
First one falls for him. So he picks up just 1 from the line that time.
Yeah, look, you'd like to take the lead on that possession, but at least he was able to tie the game up.
McConnell kicks to Embiid. And here we go with Horford running up the court. Thomas, that's good.
I mean, on offense, he has been a constant force. You get him the ball, and there's a good chance he's going to knock that shot down.
76ers have gone 7 of 13 from the field here in the fourth. To the inside, here's Henderson, gets the bucket and the foul. That's on Jaylen Brown.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
I mean, we know that this is a game of heart. He knew his man was bigger than him. No big story. He just calmly rose up, altered his body so that he could get the contact and put that shot up over.
Kelly Olynyk checked in for the Celtics. Smart comes in for Isaiah Thomas. And here's Smart, pass to Crowder. Okafor with the steal. Here's Covington, defended by Crowder. In the corner, Henderson with it. It goes straight through with the switch. Henderson's got 12 points here in the second half.
What a total 180-degree turn here. He wasn't making anything in the first half, but he looks like a totally different player now in the second half.
Now here's Crowder. Horford kicks to Smart. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
You better get your money's worth with Marcus Smart. I mean, that ticky-tack stuff won't phase him.
Bayless is checked in for Gerald Henderson. And that one falls for Smart. Now the 76ers with it. Here's McConnell. Dishes it to Okafor. The 15-footer up again. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And that's now 35 points for Joel Embiid.
Oh, and a nice job of turning that miss into 2 points on the tip-in.
Hustle points, I believe they call them. Hustle points right there. Smart kicks to Brown. Tries a three. Offensive rebound. It's good on the putback. Brown's got it all tied up now for the Celtics.
He didn't let that first half get him down. He has come out firing on all cylinders to begin this second half.
Embiid dishes to Bayless, and he makes good on the layup.
And in the first half, it was a struggle offensively, shooting a very low percentage, but it hasn't prevented them from grabbing the lead, and now they're shooting it much better here in the second.
Now here's Smart. Outside Crowder. On the wing, Brown. Just 5 to shoot. Baseline J on the way. Rebounded by Covington. And for the 76ers, they're shooting around 40% from the floor here. Embiid wide open. No good from outside. Boston's gotten just 1 of 4 three-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Smart passes to Olynyk. Outside Crowder. The Celtics working the ball around now. Horford. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Okafor's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Here's Covington. The shot from the low post is good. Now it's a 4-point 76ers lead.
Takes what the defense allows. Has that soft floater in his back pocket.
And they're moving it up. Ahead. Stolen by Smart. Horford kicks to Crowder. Back to Horford. From 18 feet away, Olynyk can't hit. Philadelphia leading by 4. Covington in the corner. The feed to Embiid. It's deflected. And so it looks like the 76ers will retain possession here. Mickey's checked in for the Celtics. Shot from 12. Here's Embiid. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though. The Celtics making a switch here. Olynyk's checked in. Celtics trail by 5. Out left to the wing. There's Horford. That's good on the assist from Smart.
Oh, and that's what you expect from your star players. I mean, Horford turns it up, including coming through with the big key bucket.
McConnell passes to Embiid. Puts one up from 19. That one off the back iron and out.
That would have been lucky had it fallen. Poor shot selection.
Well, that's just not wise to take that shot in that situation. He'll think better of it next time around. Just a nice momentum bucket there by Orlando.
And Philadelphia has possession. Here's McConnell, the pass to Embiid. Horford with the rebound. Horford's got rebound number 13 for him here tonight. Olynyk dishes to Crowder to the middle. Okafor with the steal. Here's McConnell, and it's out of bounds. The Celtics will take it the other way.
And that's just a really bad turnover there, especially at this point in the game. Every play matters.
Boston's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. For 3, Olynyk. And no good that time. So Philadelphia will take it the other way. McConnell kicks to Embiid. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
You had a foul to give there, but you'd rather not have it cost your team points.
That's the first, and that will put them up by 2. So he gets them both, and it's a 3-point game. Here's Smart. There's 37 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one.
And I think working himself to the line, an area where Smart really can excel. I mean, he's built for contact. That's for sure.
The first one, that brings them within 2. Thomas checked in for Kelly Olynyk. He hits both from the stripe. A big-time possession here.
Yeah, and their hearts must be going 100 miles an hour right now.
McConnell kicks to Embiid. And Boston with the rebound. To take the lead. And Embiid pulls it down. And now an intentional foul. They need the ball back as soon as possible.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let them dribble the game.
He hits the first one, and that will put them up by 2. And the second free throw, no good. A tough break there. To tie it up. Yes! And the foul. McConnell, and so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game.
Great players understand the situation. Close game, he rises to the challenge.
Timeout called the 76ers. They trail by 1. 9 seconds left in the fourth. Rodriguez passes to Embiid. Shot from 16. Oh, missed it. And so they choose to intentionally foul. First one drops, and that will put them up by 2.
When you look at Isaiah Thomas, I think when it's all said and done, he'll go down as one of the all-time great scorers under 6 feet in history. I mean, you might say he's already there. Pushes it from a 2 to a 3-point lead. You can count on him. It makes a huge difference right now.
And the 76ers call time here. Guys, your thoughts?
Well, you need the three here. A quick one. I mean, very quick. Has to be catch and shoot. One fluid motion. A very difficult shot, but it is definitely not impossible.
And so it's Boston scraping by with the win. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic late victory.
And Kevin, this is the kind of win you have to take a ton of pride in. I mean, they battled with everything they had and came through when the pressure was at its highest.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Al, congrats. Tough game tonight. When do you think you guys really locked in and started taking control of the game?
It all started the second half. We didn't do a good job the first half. We let him hang around. But, at least we reacted better the second half. This is one of those games that we just had to, will our way to win this.
Out of games like that, you have to kind of just grind out, Al. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for being with us. And now we'll head over to the studio with Ernie Johnson.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thanks, Kevin. Now we have the opportunity to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Isaiah Thomas. Tonight he put up his high for the season. Found his rhythm, never let up. Just a terrific scoring effort all the way around. Let's get your opinion, Shaq.
I know Isaiah Thomas well, and it doesn't surprise me at all to see him have a game like this. Beautiful job of directing the action, but he does that every night. He's a player you can trust with the team's offense, and he's going to make that big shot, baby, when you need it.
So many points coming from inside. He was not just settling for jump shots. He was slashing to the rim, sacrificing his body. His aggressiveness was the difference.
That's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. We certainly hope you've enjoyed the show, don't we, guys?
It was great.
Yeah. Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and for Kevin Harlan and the entire 2K Sports crew. All 653,000 of them.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Hard-working.
A lot of people.
Yeah. It's a long line at the buffet, though.
Yeah. Shout out to the T-Pose, man.
Oh,
I don't know his name, but I know his face.
I'm Ernie Johnson. See you next time.